Katerina here. I'm so excited about today's segment. I've been picking cherries from my garden. We have two beautiful cherry trees, and I'm going to be making a cherry sauce that you can freeze and put away, and it will last an entire year in the freezer. And I'm going to be making a cherry sheet cake. Now let's get started. So here I have 4 cups of pitted cherries. Now you're going to need a cherry pitter. They're fantastic. They're not very expensive. You put the cherry inside, you push down, and the seed will come right off. So here I have 4 cups of pitted cherries from my garden. And to this I'm going to add a cup of water, 6 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and I'm going to let this boil and simmer until it becomes very soft and all the sugar is dissolved. Okay, so it's all the sugar has dissolved. The cherries are cooking nicely. Now you just want to continue cooking them until the cherries are extremely soft, which is about another 8 minutes, I would say. Okay, so you've got your first boil here, and you're going to notice all this foam along the sides and in the center. Those are all the impurities from the cherries. You don't want this because it's very bitter, so just very carefully remove it. Oh, it smells so wonderful. Now the cherries are lovely and soft. This is what you want. We're going to let it continue to cook for about another 2-3 minutes. To a 1/4 cup of water, I've added 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm just allowing it to dissolve. I'm mixing it up, and this is going to thicken the cherry sauce because I like it with a little bit of thickness. But it's very important to add the cornstarch to cold water and dissolve it, because if you don't, it'll clump in the heat. Now I'm going to add the cornstarch, and as soon as the cornstarch hits the heat, it will start thickening. You'll be able to see it instantly. Come down here. So just keep mixing, 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 and look, already it's gotten thick. Isn't that amazing? I just love it. And there we go, we have a cherry sauce. Now that it's thickened and everything, I'm turning it off, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cherry liqueur. Now you can add more if you like. You know, also now's a good time to taste it. If you'd like it, you know, you can put more sugar. It's your sauce, you decide. Hey, it's beautiful, it tastes fantastic. Now's the time to add any additional sugar or liqueur, whatever you like. Now I'm going to add the juice of half a lemon. I already took the seeds out of the lemon. It smells so good. So the cherry sauce is ready. Now all we're going to do is let it cool down to room temperature. Once it's in room temperature, we're going to put it in a glass container or whatever you have, and let it refrigerate for 2 days. I'm just going to taste it for you. So good. On ice cream, on pancakes, on desserts, whatever you like, it's wonderful. After 2 days, if you like, which I did, is I put them in these freezer containers, and I put them in the freezer, and when I need them, maybe next month, 2 months, whenever I need them, I just pull it out the night before, and you have cherry sauce. Now how easy is that? To start with the cherry sheet cake. This is a wonderful cake. If you have quite a few people coming, it will feed a lot of people, and it's delicious and very easy. We're going to start with the dry ingredients. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. We're going to set the flour mixture aside, and now we're going to start with the wet mixture. Here I have 1 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature. Okay, to the butter I'm going to add 1 cup of granulated sugar. Three eggs. To the 3 eggs, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, give it a good mix. The 3 eggs and the vanilla, very, very good mix. Add to the butter mixture. Okay, I'm just doing a scrape down. You should do at least 2 scrape downs before adding the dry ingredients. Okay, now I've done 2 scrape downs, and now it's ready for the dry ingredients. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons at a time. Okay, I did 2 scrape downs. My dough looks like a cookie dough. That's what you want it to look like. So my dough is ready. Preheat your oven at 325, and I've prepared a sheet here, 11 by 15. I sprayed it, parchment paper, sprayed it again, and then sprinkled some flour. I just want to make sure that the cake doesn't stick. Now my sheet is ready for the batter. The dough's been spread evenly with an offset spatula. Now I put the cherries on top. This way, when the cake grows, it'll hug all the cherries. In the oven for 35 minutes. I'm going to check it. Okay, my sheet cake is baking, and now we're going to start with my cherry bundt cake. It's so delicious. I've been making this cake forever. You will need an 8-inch bundt pan. You need to spray it and flour it all around, and then tap it. And preheat your oven at 325. I'm going to start with the dry ingredients first. This is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Good mix, and we're going to set it aside. For the wet ingredients, you need 1 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1 cup of mascarpone cheese. It's so good. It adds such a wonderful taste to this bundt cake. I did a scrape down with the cheese and the butter, and now I'm going to add 1½ cups of granulated sugar. Okay, now I'm going to add 4 eggs. Okay, the 4th one. To the eggs, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, give them a really quick mix. I'm going to add the eggs and vanilla to the butter and cheese. Everything's mixed beautifully. Now I'm going to add the dry mixture, the flour mixture, slowly, a tablespoon at a time. Okay, my cake batter is ready. I just have to add the cherries. I have a little bit over a cup of cherries. I wanted to add a lot. And to this, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. This way, when I add it to the batter and it goes into the bundt pan, all the cherries won't fall to the bottom. They'll stay where they fall, inside the batter. And I'm going to add the cherries. Okay. Okay, the batter's ready. To the bundt pan, you don't have to do this, but I like to do it. I'm just going to add just a little bit of sanding sugar, just to make a little bit of a crust on the outside. It looks lovely. Okay, with an offset spatula, I'm just evening out the dough. going to bang it a few times. And in the oven it's going to go for about 70 minutes. I'm going to put a skewer through it. When it comes out clean, you know it's ready. Okay, my sheet cake is ready and it's cooled. Now I'm going to turn it over on this drying rack. Yes! Okay, beautiful. Okay, now I'm just going to sprinkle it with a little bit of icing sugar all around. Okay, now we're going to cut it into threes. Okay, we're going to cut it in triangles, only because I think it looks prettier. Here's my cherry sauce on my sheet cake. Ooh, so good. And why not? I think that's beautiful with my cherry sheet cake. And now I'm going to taste it for you. So good. The cherry cake, the sauce, oh my gosh, so good. Your family will love it, and you saw how easy. So my cake was in the oven for 1 hour and 15 minutes. I put a bamboo skewer through it. It came out clean, so I knew it was done. Now it's been out of the oven for approximately half an hour, so I think I'm safe in turning it over. Let's see. Yes! Look how beautiful. It's perfect. Now we're just going to let it cool. It's just perfect. We're going to let it cool, and then I'm going to cut it and we're going to taste it. I'm just going to put a little bit of icing sugar on. I put icing sugar on everything. I just love the taste, and I just think it looks so pretty. I'm going to cut a piece. For cakes like this, a serrated knife is the best, just to show you what it looks like. And I'm going to taste it for you as well. How beautiful. How beautiful. You see, because we put the flour with the cherries didn't all fall to the bottom. They're all throughout the entire cake. Now on this cherry bundt cake, I can put my cherry sauce. Why not? Of course I can. I can do whatever I like. Look at that, how beautiful. Now I'm going to taste it for you. You can taste the cheese. Oh my goodness, it's so good. This is a lovely, lovely cake. You could use this as a breakfast cake, as a dessert cake, whatever you like. It's absolutely lovely and so moist. You must make this for your family. I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you like the cherry sauce, the sheet cake, and of course this magnificent cherry bundt cake. And I do hope you will try these dishes throughout this cherry season. And it's Katerina, from my home to yours.